Stop cooking.
We on? Good to go. Beautiful.
Yes.
Guys, welcome back to Live Around the Drum. Live action. What was it? Wait.
Yeah.
Live action. No, well, we are back. We are back in person with youth. We've got all the crowd here. Give us a yell. Yeah, heck yeah, crowd interaction. So we're excited for that. This will be our last Live Around the Drum, hopefully for quite a while. But you never know, we might do a special one on a Sunday night maybe. Alex, how you going, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, thanks.
Good to hear. Rochelle, how are you going?
I'm good as well, thanks.
Sick. I'm not too bad. Thanks for asking.
No, we just assumed you're well.
Yeah, no, it's good. And speaking of being well, I feel like I've been well fed. All right. Because I haven't worn it. You know when you have, so my clothes, right, in my wardrobe, I've got them tiered. So I've got S tier, A tier, B tier, and then F tier, which is the clothes I wear to bed sometimes when it's cold.
Really?
So
I'd say F tier are lower than going to bed, and they're doing grotty work outside in. Whereas B tier would be comfy but wouldn't wear it in public. And then A tier is okay, I'd wear it out, and then S tier is
No, t-shirts, but F tier t-shirts, they're a bit grubby. I'm washing my sheets tomorrow morning. I may as well just wear it.
Yeah,
No,
all right.
no. Anyway, I'm going to continue
it.
with my story. So anyway, this is one of my S tier shirts.
So
S
it looks
tier?
good.
How did we get to an S tier?
S tier, it's
Superstar.
yeah, I don't know the
Is it
rating.
A tier?
It's I don't know, it's a gaming.
I don't know.
You have S tier and then A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't know
Right.
where it came from,
And S is just
but I'm
superstar.
Above. Okay.
I'm pretty hip, pretty with it. Anyway, so
Favourite.
this is S tier shirt, yeah, but it's at the bottom of the pile, and so I've been recycling my other S tier shirts, my Gap Youth shirt, and then my blue and white one, and then my pink and white one, and then just other cool shirts I got. Anyway, so I thought I'll chuck this one on, and so I put it on, and it's a lot tighter than I remembered. And then I'm like, is this because I haven't worn it for ages, or have I been in the top paddock a bit too long? All right, and I was like, all right, picked my shirt, picking matching pants. I'm pretty sure I wore these not long ago. They are quite tight.
Good paddock. Great paddock.
And
Lockdown life.
so council's been treating me well, but I'm choosing to believe that it's muscle mass.
We could speak it into existence.
Yep, because I've been hitting the Church of Iron, getting shredded. Look, anyway, we'll move on from there. Do you guys have the same kind of, do you guys have the same kind of category system for your clothes? Or are you guys a colour coordinated? Yeah, you group
but
them in what they
within
are,
what they
obviously.
are.
But do
It
you
goes
also
deeper for me.
do you also tier them?
I'll just expand on mine. So I've got this, it's like a 4x4 bookshelf grid type thing that I put my clothes in. And so I've got 16 different slots, and each level is t-shirts, shorts, jumpers, pants.
Do they all fit in that one thing though?
And then, they all fit perfectly.
That's all right. You have not enough clothes.
Well, I did live with Shell's brother for a year, and I kid you not, before living with Matt McGrath, I had about 6 pairs of shoes. I now have over 20 pairs of shoes because of that man. So
Respect the drip.
Influence.
Is that right,
so
Sam?
but
Sam?
I've figured out it's not actually that financially bad to have lots of shoes because it takes longer for them to wear out.
It's true.
So
Fact.
your shoes will last 5-6 years instead of one.
Yeah. Yep.
So it actually works out.
Yeah.
You've just got to buy ones that you're going to like for 6 years.
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts on so obviously you got op shop clothes, right? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on hand-me-down free clothes? If you get offered a good set of free clothes, do you take it?
Absolutely.
From
With
who?
Just anyone.
Jubilation.
Say you find a good set of clothes, do you take it? Obviously not stealing. Say you find something just out whilst you're doing a bit of council work in the garden, or you're just dropping down to pick up a table with your head pastor. Say you find some clothes that's good, same size, would you take it?
Yes.
Yes.
Dad currently wears a jumper that he found in a park, and it looks like one of the best things on him because he doesn't buy good clothes, and so this is a good jumper, and it actually looks great on him.
Yep. Alex, what about you?
Yes.
I tend not to because I live in Morwell. But mall is a great place, but a lot of the clothes that I see lying around just aren't for me.
Yep.
So
So hear me out here. On last Friday, I went down the street with Andrew to pick up something, all COVID safe, and I found a package, like closed package, like it wasn't opened, it was all safe, of a subscription service for underwear, right? I checked the size, right size. Like this is nearly an S tier underwear subscription service, like $20 a month. Would you take it home?
well, it depends on what they look like. What
They're
was it
under-
a
they
plain?
don't-
Was it
Doesn't matter
like,
what they look like. No one's going to see them.
yeah, but you
they're
are when you put them on.
Yeah, but they're comfortable, so it doesn't matter what they look like.
He's tried them, so we know the answer
Okay,
here.
so he's obviously said yes and has them.
Yeah, well, I chucked out a Snapchat. I was like, lads, found some underwear, still in package. Everyone knows, like, it's the Nobby brand. You've probably seen it on Facebook. Otherwise, you're going to see it on your Facebook now because your phone's heard me say it. But, like, they're a good brand. But I was like, I never wanted to subscribe to an underwear thing. It's like, I got my underwear. When it gets holes in it, I might buy new ones. Anyway, so I was like, copped it. Anyway, so guys, would you, and I'm just going to get this one ready, would you do the same? Yes? If you said, yeah, obviously you wash it.
It's in a sealed package.
When
Why
you
would you
buy
wash
new
it?
clothes, you
Brand
wash
new.
it. Mum says because there's chemicals on it.
No, but sometimes
also
like
you get
new
a
clothes have that
Real
cool
greasy
smell.
bloke that wore it in the change room before you. Powdery feeling. But you kind of want your underwear to do that. Say just putting talcum powder.
That's it. Bit of high intensity sport.
Exactly. Like, just, I might leave it there.
Transitioning on.
Yeah, transitioning on. I think, staying on the topic of stories and truth and poetry. Because life is about poetry, and I'm a big fan of poetry. I used to write a couple of poems back in my day. You're never going to get to hear them, but that's all right. And so I thought it might be nice for you guys to do some poems. So last week, if you were watching, we did limericks. And I thought it'd be nice, since last time you two were together, you had to stare into each other's eyes. I thought, I'm just going to feed into that. And I want you to do an acrostic poem about each other.
It's an acrostic poem.
So an acrostic poem, for example, we're going to go, someone put their hand up.
Bam.
Claire. C. Caring. L. Loving.
Gotcha.
Yep, so acrostic poem is that. So obviously Alex has been stitched up with Rochelle having a longer name.
Shell.
Well, Shell,
done.
Alex, not
Yeah,
Alexander.
right, Shell and Alex.
Or she could do Alexander.
Do you guys want some time to think about this, or you feel like you're just going to smash them
I
out?
feel like we got to smash it out because last time we thought about it, it was
More
subpar
painful?
viewing.
No, I've
heard.
got some good viewing, but do you want to see what I've got planned?
I want to see what you got planned.
All right, so I'm going to need 3 volunteers.
Ooh.
So we start thinking now.
You start thinking now whilst I get 3 volunteers. Right, we got 1. Come up on stage. Yep, Claire, jump up. We need 1 more.
Woohoo!
You just get
Go
right
Chloe
here.
and Claire.
Right here. Chloe and Claire, we need 1 more volunteer. Otherwise, I'll do it. 1 more.
One
One
So,
more.
no.
Nah, can we get a camera on these guys? I don't know if you can see them. Anyway, so now, if you watched, I did some singing. But I think what we're going to do now is I'm going to sing, and you guys have to try and dance to what I'm singing.
Ooh.
And whoever does it best gets a firm handshake.
A crisp high five.
A
even.
crisp.
I don't dance.
I know you can.
No.
Not a chance?
No, I don't dance.
All right, here we go. Every day when you're walking down the street, and somebody that you meet, and you're something about getting along with each other. Hey, you got to listen to your heart, listen to the beat, listen to the rhythm. Yeah, Claire. All right, you can go now. Here you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. You can sit down. Alex, your time has come to share your acrostic poem.
It's truth. That wasn't long, but all right, here we go. Shell is a friend of mine. Her hair is beautiful.
Uh,
Oh wow!
And
This
go
is
for it.
Way more detailed than mine was. Like
Yeah,
word,
isn't this?
word,
You
word.
just
I mean,
have to
I'm
start
really-
each line with the.
So first, it's just 1 word.
One
But
word?
If you want
It's
to
sounding
say
great,
this,
but-
if you want to say this over Rochelle,
No,
I'm all for it.
You get taught to do 1 word in like grade 4.
All right.
I was going with that level.
Well,
All right.
All right. No, Alex, keep going. Shell, you now have to step up. Alex, keep going.
All right. Shell is a friend of mine. Her hair is beautiful,
Oh, look out.
even nicer than my mum's. Looks like silky, smooth
Tell us how you really feel.
locks.
Yeah. Is
was the
locks your
double
last
Locks
one?
my last.
Oh wow, I'm very impressed. All right.
Is that your first one?
Alex, you are awesome.
Nice.
You love the Lord. You have a heart of evangelism, and you're extremely cool. The X definitely stitched me up there.
Go on.
You happy with that?
No, I need an
No.
X.
It was
I've got one, but I need
extremely-
an X
It was
word.
the X in
Nice.
Xbox. Are you good at Xbox?
Better at xylophone.
Okay.
If Matt McGrath's watching, how good is Alex at Xbox with FIFA? Just want to chime in there.
Bet you he's not watching, just like last week.
Oh, rough. It's
He
right.
is our former youth director.
Yeah. So I really, you both had different styles. Like Alex went the straight line, and you did like the Scrabble tactic, where you have like the word and then you kind of got each side. So I really appreciated that. I think that's good. What do you guys reckon? Who was the best acrostic poem? Alex. All right, so we got a clear win. I'll give you a firm handshake later on.
Thank you.
But we're going to move on to our next favourite thing, which is, of course, a Bible race.
Oh, where are the Bibles?
I'm prepared. From my box.
There you go.
Are we dropping mics?
Yeah, put your mics down. Jared, would you be able to yell out the first Bible verse for us, the camping one? And then get it up on screen. So just do the old Alt tab.
You were very sneaky when you did this at church recently.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side of the proclaim.
That don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to know your Bible.
No, it's a Bible race. All right, just put it up.
You just don't think how many books does this, how many chapters does this book have?
Judges chapter 4, verse 21.
Yep, got it.
All right, Shell, pick up your microphone and read it out for us.
Sisera was exhausted and soon fell fast asleep. Jael took a hammer and drove a tent peg through his head into the ground, and he died.
That's unreal.
Great verse.
Firstly, Jared, can we check up that first, like the title slide? Out of context, content. Would you like to pass or play?
Play.
You'd like to play? All right.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but
You got to preach a message on that. So preach roughly 1 to 5 minutes.
Okay. Wow.
You now have to start now.
Okay. Well, this verse, I mean, I just think is amazing for a woman of the Bible that participated in a action scene, which is just epic. Think, Black Widow kind of league. So the army was like losing, and Jael, who's a lady, because it doesn't really, maybe not know that, it's not a very feminine sounding name. Anyway, she like opportunistically saw the enemy leader come into, I think it was her tent or a tent nearby, and she literally like saw him there. He rested his head and fell asleep because he thought he was safe.
This sounds quite in context, just quietly.
In, out.
I want it to be out. I want you to just preach off that one scripture.
Oh, you don't want me to give any
No.
more to it? Okay.
You have license to nearly be heretical because I've told everyone that it's potentially heretical. Heretical means not biblically
Not
accurate.
biblical. Okay. Well, it's a very violent verse. So
Yeah, exactly.
we like
You
preaching
played
violence.
it. You clicked play.
So are we talking preaching or just making up a good story?
You got to preach it.
Right.
If you watched
Okay,
last
look,
week, you might
so
have learned
yes,
something.
there is valid reasons to be violent. And I mean, this is an Old Testament book. What else can I get out of this one? Be opportunistic. He fell asleep. She realised it was an enemy. She took her chances. She used what was around her. She was resourceful. You know, you
Come
don't
on
have a
now.
weapon.
Come on.
You've got a tent peg and a hammer. That's absolutely fine. She wasn't afraid to get up close to him. You know, he could have woken up at any second. She had to be very close. No, like shooting from a distance or anything. So, she was amazing.
So be resourceful.
Be resourceful.
Be close to your enemies.
Be close to your enemies.
And kill them.
And kill them. Yes.
That's
the take homes. Thank you.
a word. I wouldn't say it's a good word, but that's a word.
Tis a word.
Tis a word. All right, we're going to Bible race again. Jared, would you like to whip up the clothesline for me? That's all right. So we have Mark 14, 51 to 52.
Got it.
All right, please read.
Mark 14,
With your
51
microphone.
and 52.
Yeah.
One of them was a young man who was wearing only a linen cloth. And when the
I
men
just want to read off the screen so it's a better version, just quietly.
grabbed
man.
him,
Yep,
he
see.
left the cloth behind
Good
and
shout.
ran away naked. I will read the one on the screen.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
One young man following behind was clothed only in a long linen shirt. When the mob tried to grab him, he slipped out of his shirt and ran away naked.
I've got a long linen shirt. S tier. S tier.
I feel like you have to be a certain type of person to wear a long
youth
t-shirt.
pastor.
And youth
No, you
pastor
layer
probably
it.
fits the bill.
You layer it. You chuck a sweater and then a jumper as well, so it's got like multifaceted. I don't know what that means. Just quietly. What does faceted mean?
Faceted.
Say again.
It's a fancy word for faced.
Oh, faces. So
Like
some
if
would
you're
say that
multifaceted in
if
a
you
skill,
lie a
that
lot,
means
you
you
are
have lots of different
multifaceted.
skills.
If you lie a lot, you're multifaceted.
No.
No.
But that's two-faced. Anyone? Yeah? Yeah? Content. Thanks.
Yep.
Speaking of getting there, Alex, please preach.
Preach.
Ooh, we didn't get an option.
Didn't get an option to pass or play, but I'll
Well,
play.
we don't. I mean, it was a good word, but I want. I
Oh,
like
is
to
that what would
diversify my
happen?
preachers so that people still listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is actually a New Testament. Actually, that's context. So we're going to steer away from that because we get in trouble for that.
on.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. So as you can see in these verses, there was something that was holding this man back, and he just had to get rid of it to keep chasing after the Lord, to keep pursuing what he was focused on. So in life, if there's something holding you back, sometimes you've got to make that tough decision. And yeah, it might cause embarrassment. It might cause something in you that just doesn't feel right. But sometimes you just got to leave that thing behind and pursue the Lord head on.
That's good, man. That's good. You know, I mean, that was a good word. But to be honest, I was hoping for another life example like you gave us with the MCG.
Yep.
Do you have an example when you left your long linen t-shirt behind and ran away naked?
Not that I can remember, no.
Missing out.
Yeah. We have the space here if you have a story.
Prefer not.
Okay, so he has a story.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, he has a story.
Like if someone tries to have a crack and they're holding onto your jumper, you just let it fly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Anyway, I think we should move on. I think I'm, urging on a bit of danger here, so I'm gonna move on. Speaking of danger,
Correct.
Geelong is playing tonight.
Yeah.
Good segue. Who we got our tips? Melbourne or Geelong?
Well, Dad goes for Melbourne,
Up the
and
D's.
he loves the Demons, which is kind
that's
of weird because
heresy.
he's a Christian and he goes for the Demons, but he really wants them to win, and so does my brother, who goes for Melbourne. So I'm gonna have to go Melbourne.
Rochelle?
Definitely Geelong.
Why's that?
They've always been in my top few teams. They just have lots of friends who go for them, and they have good colours.
They do have good colours.
That's about it.
But wouldn't that do the opposite? If you had lots of friends that barrack for a team, surely you don't like that team.
You support your friends, man. Come on.
Nah.
Not for
'Cause,
footy.
you hear them like
You
them.
get around them.
Yeah. I mean, if you follow footy as little as I follow footy, then you kind of...
So I'm guessing Gold Coast is up there with.
Oh, No, not really. They're okay.
Like I don't really care. Like my cousin used to play for Geelong, name drop, Andrew Mackey. But like one of the lads at work goes to Demons, and if they lose, it's just a shocking week at work.
Well, that's just the man who goes for Melbourne, I think.
So like I want Melbourne to win so that I have a good time next week.
That's well played.
And I think it's fair. What do you guys? Hands up for Melbourne. That's
wow,
two.
yeah,
We have
two.
2 out of nearly 20 people. Yeah, but who do you want to win? Geelong? All right. That's massive. Geelong Bulldogs, the Cats and the Dogs. Get the Dogs.
Cats versus dogs.
Yeah, wow.
Well, yeah. Well, my mum goes for the Bulldogs and my dad goes for Melbourne. So
Ooh,
there's potential for that as well.
Yeah.
That's big potential.
Yeah. So
Speaking of potential, growing up, I was pretty good at math. Not so good at math that when I was preparing for this, I grabbed one too many of what I needed. So I'm going to need another volunteer, someone from the youth who's keen to have a crack, keen to get involved, no matter what I tell them
even
they're
if
about
it's
to do.
dancing.
I like to sing. Anyway, anyone keen? Anyone keen
It
for a
could be
challenge?
prancing as well.
Could be eating, could be drinking, not ruling them out, just quietly.
Could be green eggs and ham.
It definitely could involve eggs.
I just saw that hand, Ella. Do you want to come up the front?
Ella just put her hand
I saw
up.
the hand. I saw that hand.
Ella, please pass your green apple to Ayla and come up on stage.
Bear.
I tell you what, I'll throw in an offer. If you're a youth and you come up and you win, I'll give you a beanie.
One of these bad boys.
One of them bad boys. Anyone
I think
keen?
Ella wants to come up now.
You got to win. All right, come on up.
Come on, Chloe.
All right.
Oh, wow.
We're all about the merch.
Incentivizing.
We're all about incentivizing. All right, so we have Weetabix.
Oh,
We have
they're
allergies to
dry
it.
as heck, and I don't
They're
have
not.
water.
They're actually not Weet-Bix. Wheat biscuits.
Aldi.
From
Aldi
Aldi.
for the win. They're actually not that bad.
If you're
honestly.
not bargain hunting, you're simply not.
They're like $2.50 for a kilo.
Yeah. Anyway, jump up on stage. I'll get you guys to stand up. I was trying.
To eat this as well?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, I did not prepare for this because we had pizza for dinner, and my mouth is dry as heck.
What do you think? Do you think anyone will notice? Can I just
Just put it under the table.
The next thing, have a panic attack. Please don't worry about it.
Can I? I'm just going to put. We're not going to use this bag again, so.
Oh, wait until we take out the Weetabix. Jeez. Just put that in your pants. I was going to take this home and use it for my sandwich. It's a sandwich bag.
It is a sandwich.
All right, I'll get you to send to yourselves. Ah, fine.
Okay, I'm ready now.
Unreal. I hope you guys have been prepared for this because I gave you heads up and you hydrated your mouth. Alex is getting the saliva straddle. He's going for the old cowboy spit. He's getting it ready. So on the count of 3, Rochelle's stuffed, first of all. Like, because when you're chewing, like, you get the saliva, your saliva's gone. Like,
And they're all minty too.
yeah. All right, so I'm picturing this. I'm picturing Dev, Chloe, Rochelle. I'm just putting it out there. I think it's going to be tight between Dev and Chloe. I think Rochelle's dead last. Anyway, on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, start cooking. And try to get it all in your mouth so I don't have to vacuum and Ash doesn't yell at me. I'd appreciate it. Oh, it's just because it's Aldi. Speaking of Aldi, you know them Dyson vacuum cleaners, the 5-in-1s? Just while we're going. Wait, is that all in your mouth? Dev, quick. I don't want to give away Beanie. Quick. Dev, get it in. Dev, get it up here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just I was doing a dim sim eating competition, right? And a lad started to bet on me, and so they told me to just get him in there. And I ended up putting too many dim sims in my mouth, and it hit my gag. And so I had like 5 mashed up dim sims. I got a video if you want to see it. And it's like, yeah. You go. Dev, quick. I'd like a mouth open, tongue out, and I'm going to inspect for percentage of Weetabix. So I hope you brush your teeth. My nose is quite sensitive at the moment. Working out. Oh, Dev. Chloe, open up. Tongue right out. Tongue right out. Jeez, I don't know. There's a bit on your teeth there. Guys, what do you reckon? I reckon Dev got up, got the dub. Dev got up. Rochelle's doing really... You need to finish that because you put your gum in that bag and you can't cross-contaminate. Anyway, I'm going to give you a beanie anyway. We'll sort you out later. Congratulations. Firm handshake. Firm handshake for before. Thanks for that. What's that? That's you? Oh. There you go. You keep going up.
I'll just
So I thought, obviously, like Wheat Bix, they dry your mouth out a lot. Do you guys feel like you need something to hydrate yourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I brought out Jared's favourite piece of equipment from church, the offering bucket. Now, I can't guarantee which one he vomited in. It's we've got about 13. This is 2 of them, so odds
decent odds.
15%.
Okay.
So
Math.
how this is going to work? Going to give you one of these each. All right, no, wait. So I thought, if anyone looked at the story, if anyone looked at our Instagram story, I know Adelaide did, she gave it a good laugh and react. When I replied to my mum's one about eat healthy food,
Healthy foods.
she just continued, I shouldn't have given her some rope. She just continued sending snaps. I mean, what's it called? Like replies. You're like, oh, you should have a fruit smoothie and pretend it's disgusting. Like, shut up, mum. Anyway, I was working today, flat out, like I was drinking. And she's like, you know what's really healthy, Josh? Eggs.
Oh no.
Oh.
Eggs are really good for you, Josh. You should make them eat an egg and because it's disgusting, but you can mask it because it's good in protein. Like, thanks, mum. That's actually a really great idea. So I've got me some farm fresh extra large eggs.
Are they caged? Oh, I can't do caged
No,
eggs.
I
didn't-
agree. Can we
I
just
can't-
both revolt?
No, because I am all
alright.
for the rights
So
of the
these
chicken.
are actually
Definitely organic and free range.
yeah, they are. It's just the box is caged. The eggs are from a local farm in.
Out of context preaching, are you going to start talking about caged?
Look, they are. Look, I'm not going to defend my mum's decision to save money and get caged eggs.
So you didn't even buy the eggs yourself?
Why would I buy the eggs myself? If I can avoid spending
Must
this
be
budget
nice.
by using my mum's
Must be
money,
very nice.
I'm going to do it. Anyway, so I figured you can crack it on this, and so you can either crack it and go one at a time, or you can crack it, pour it into this cup, knock them all back at once. And so options.
How many are we going?
3.
3 each. Okay.
Options there if you want
That's
it.
that's 2 more than I do before a workout. Oh, hello.
Anyway, so I'm just going to quickly ask that you keep all the mess inside the bucket. Ash, you approve of that message?
I think, can we make it a 1 egg thing?
But I brought 6. I had the intention of it being
I think 1
a-
is a feat.
I want it to
3
be a
is just
drawn-out experience for the viewers.
Do you think one's going to be too easy?
Yeah. Because
Do you think 1's too easy?
just crack it back, noise.
Surely you've had raw egg before, though.
No.
Wow.
How, as Paul McGrath's daughter, have you not had raw egg before? It's,
Oh, Matt was
Thanks, Sam.
horrible.
anyway, I think you just stop arguing about it. Put your microphones down.
Oh,
Put your tithing bucket up. Speaking of, I just want to talk about tithes right now. As a church, we should be giving 10%. After this, the offering bucket's going to be handed out, so just chuck some coins in there. All right, on the count. So just quickly, as you can see, Dev's going for the knock 'em all back at once effort. Shell's going for the double crack whammy. Bang, bang, noise. Anyway, I'm going to get my counter up here, and by that I mean I'm just going to watch this. Ready? Have you finished Weet-Bix yet? Nah, yes, as long they just need to finish first. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, just pour it into the offering bucket. We have people with allergies. Maya's going to tithe and die now.
No, Maya ties online.
Oh, just an update. If you're from our church and you have an egg allergy, please start tithing online. Not only for convenience, but for safety. Speaking of, we have church online this Sunday. Shell, you're wasting time. Shell, you're wasting time. Knock it back. Keep going. Knock it back. Rochelle. Wait, can you show the camera? Can you show the camera what's in? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Knock it back.
Do it real quick, and you don't even notice it.
I think I'll vomit in front of you all.
Yeah, that's the point. Can you please do it?
Okay.
No, I'm the host. I avoid.
Like recovery water.
No, egg is like water. When it comes out of a chicken's
It
butt,
is. It is like water.
It's got a unfertilized chicken embryo. Cells fertilized. But coming out nice and warm, but then you've taken out the casing, and there's potential for a chicken to be in it, potential for it to not be.
I think this is very good. Like,
They're in a fridge.
Best before? Best before?
Nah, best before is printed on the egg, isn't it?
No.
When it
No,
comes
that's
out,
not-
I thought it come with a date on it.
of October.
Oh, yeah, you got I'll be 30 by then. Jeez. Speaking of, it's my birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday, me. Anyway,
All right,
Rochelle, how long?
Wanna go? All right.
Make a bigger deal out of this than me with some knowledge.
Once you get going, it's really easy to just do it all.
Nice. I was going to say that now that you've dropped the cup, it's kind of like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy.
I need some water.
So, no, you need to finish it. You can't just have a sip and spit it out. Yeah. That's like, have your siblings ever spat on your dessert so you don't eat it?
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
It's the same concept. Rochelle's now spat on the egg so that I can't do the challenge. So she has to finish the challenge.
I'm not finishing the challenge. It now has
Finish your Weet-Bix at least.
Weet-Bix.
It-
It's now mixed
That's a
with
nutritional breakfast. You ask any power lifter, that's what they have for breakfast.
Ew.
Dev, is that what you eat for breakfast?
Before I work out, I have an egg, and after I have my shake. So
Exactly. It's pretty much an up and go with eggs.
Hmm.
That's a 4-course meal.
just quietly though, I'm struggling right now. Because the fact that I know in my brain that there's 3 eggs that I don't think the yolk's even broke. I don't think the yolk's broke, and they're just sitting around in my stomach. So
All right. Hey, youth, who wants to make $10? $10.
another beanie. Another beanie.
Nah, that's probably not COVID safe. I can't give out too many beanies. We'll lose money. I'll give you a high five, Chloe. I'll give you a high five if you just drink in the egg. Just drink the egg. Oh yeah. Shall you ruined it?
$20 then.
Yeah, 20. $20 when we cut the stream. All right. I think it's a good time to move on to announcements. History makers.
Come on.
I still don't know what's going on. Let's hope that it's going ahead. If it's not, you'll get your money back. So stress less if you are stressing.
But it's always good to have a tiny bit of stress in your life just to keep you on your toes.
No. But think about it as a long-term safe investment. It's like a bank, right? You put your money in, you just leave it there for a month, no interest gained, and then you get it back.
And no cost to you at all?
No cost to you at all. Just the experience. Yeah, that's how I make my capital. Anyway, next week is the last week of term. We did have Op Shop Formal as the event. We're changing it up a bit. Op Shop Beauty and the Geek. So you can either dress up, as a male beauty male or female geek. Still main shop purchase. All right,
Range.
just use. I'm rocking a brown.
Bring out the white suit.
That cost me in year 10.
Yeah, give it to the op shop and buy it back.
That's a good investment. That'd be so tight. Like, if you think I've been in the top paddock with these, I've been in the top paddock with my white suit.
I want to see a muscle suit on you.
Jeez.
Yes.
Nah, you got to op shop. Got to op shop it.
You got to op shop it and buy it back. Support local.
Well, op shop's good for you. You save so much money. Anyway, op shops are open. Regional is out. A bit of egg in that. Anyway, I think that's about all the announcements we have. Is that about right?
No more from me.
I just want to see if I had anything else under here. I don't. I just have I had my sign that I never got to use because you guys were a great audience. When I thought of this, right, so I was struggling to sleep last night.
Yeah.
I was singing the movie Shrek. And like at the
Lord
wedding,
Farquaad?
when it's like, please,
Yes.
that was what I had in mind, but please agree when I was thinking about my job.
Yep. Yep.
Majority of you agreed, so I'm
I thought you slept well last night.
like before I go to sleep. Yeah.
'Cause I'm sure I heard that you slept well last
I
night.
didn't sleep well. I got 7 hours, 45 minutes.
Yep.
You know what you need? You need some milk.
Apparently raw eggs are good for sleep.
Raw eggs are great for sleep. Sounds like a you problem.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on from there. I'm gonna preach a word.
We love that.
I think a good word. We love a good word. So, if you could bring up my title slide, please, Jared. This is another one of my late night thoughts. Where's the lamb sauce? Yeah, but it's Jesus. Because Jesus is the lamb, and he's our sauce. You with me? So far, you with me? Yeah?
Do you need me to have these?
Yeah. We can have one each.
All right, yeah, there you go.
Another
You want
laugh.
to agree? Okay.
All right, so we're gonna test these out. Alex,
What are they going to do for this?
amen.
Can we,
Come on now.
clapping?
Come on now.
Clapping. Yes. Yes.
Come on now.
Excellent. Excellent.
Come on now. Anyway, where's the lamb sauce? Hey? You tell me. I actually had roast last night. I had roast last night because fritters is my favourite meal. And I'm keen for some roast fritters tomorrow night. Anyway, when writing this, right, I had a point that I wanted to get across. But I ended up getting quite passionate, and I now have 5 points that I'm going to get across. Nah, it's actually a bit of a stitch up, but I'm really hoping you can still take in what I'm trying to say. So if you have a phone, if you've got your notebook, yeah, come on. Grab out your phone and your notebook, take some notes.
Wait, no, I can't type.
No, okay. Anyway, I want to start with this question, all right? It's a rhetorical question. So, I mean, it's a genuine question, but I want you to just think about it inside your head. Jeez. All right. So, when you are feeling low or like annoyed or anxious or scared or fearful, what do you do? What is your response when you have that emotion? All right, just think about it for a bit. Right, and so when your friends or the community around you are feeling low or anxious or scared or fearful, and they come to you, what do you do in that situation? And are they the same answer? You can see, that so often we give out advice and we don't take it ourselves. Or when we face our own problems, we go to Jesus, but when our friends come to us, we think that we're the solution and we try to fix it ourselves. Does anyone kind of relate to that? That when your friends come to you, kind of, oh, I can fix this. This is going to be my moment. My friends are going to love me. Yeah, anyone else feel that? So I've got a Bible verse for you here. Hold on. Check my time. Psalm 107, verse 9. You can open it up if you want. I don't know. Anyway, it says this in whatever version I have. For he satisfies the longing soul, and for hungry souls he fills with good things. You see, would you say that when I asked if you're feeling one of those things, or when you're feeling one of those things, that your soul is longing in that situation? Or that you are wanting more out of your circumstance or your life in that point? That you may be like desiring something else, like you want peace, or you want connection or affirmation or feeling worth, or have a deeper sense of identity? Is that kind of, in those moments, do you feel like they could be the root of the emotion? But you see, there's a lot of counterfeit versions of peace, of connection, of genuine affirmation, of worth and of identity. And we're going to list off a couple of, what I've kind of experienced in my counterfeit versions, and maybe you can relate to that. So peace. Sometimes to find a counterfeit version of peace, you can pretend that stuff doesn't exist and just go watch Netflix and try to get it out of your mind. Just calm down. Just get a moment of peace. Yeah? Or connection. You respond to that message from that person that you've left undelivered for a long time, and you strike up a conversation just to, have a bit of a chat and feel connected again. Or like maybe affirmation. You're feeling like you need affirmation, so you chuck up a selfie or you do a post on Instagram or Snapchat that you know people are going to respond to you and feed you compliments. Or maybe you feel like you need worth, so you start doing extra jobs around the house, or you try to overachieve with your life, and you try to feel needed and important in your world, in the world. I'm not liking this microphone. Can I grab one? Beautiful. Yep. Or like, if you're feeling like you're struggling with your identity, for a counterfeit version, maybe you could go to a sporting group, or, to a chess club, or somewhere that welcomes you in and makes you feel like you belong, makes you feel like you have an identity with them. You see, in John 4:13 to 14, John 4:13 to 14, it says this. This is when Jesus is at the well with the Samaritan woman, I believe it is. So Jesus said to her, "Everyone who drinks of this water," referring to the well that they're at, "will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks of the water that I give them will never be thirsty." Could someone give me some water? It's COVID, there's saliva in it. Yeah. And so the water that I, Jesus, give them will become in him a spring of life welling up to eternal life. And so I want to ask you, in your moment of despair, in your moment of feeling low, which water is your first response to drink? Do you go to the earthly well and to get a temporary satisfaction? Or do we go to the eternal water? Do we go to a Jesus and but to fulfill ourselves? I'm going to say it again. Do we go to the earthly well to kind of temporarily satisfy ourselves? Or do we go to the eternal water to fulfill ourselves? Beautiful, thank you. No, we don't have one. Yeah, come on. Anyway, it's good. Thanks, Tegan. I'll be honest, I'll be the first to admit that it's so much easier to go to an earthly satisfaction, to go to the earthly well. And so I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to be real with you so that you actually listen to what I'm going to say, and so that you feel like, I'm speaking from someone from experience. Anyway, so sometimes it happens, I can get emotionally overwhelmed by my circumstances. I'd become a mess. And my response to that was that I'd message a couple girls and I'd talk about it with them. Because if you're a male, or, let's be honest, if we're in the midst of a situation, in the midst of it, we can easily feel loved and valued when we talk to someone about our problems. That's going to feed into it. That's going to make us, feel valued. Yeah? You all kind of understanding that? But over a few months, I've changed my processing method. Now, so this works for me. It may not work for you. But for me, I'd fully embrace the emotion. I'd give it honor when it hits. I'd watch a couple sad movies. I'd listen to some sad music. But now, instead of messaging a girl about it to feel quick affirmation, once I've now fully embraced it and processed it, I take it to God. And then when I take it to God afterwards, I then process that with a close circle of male friends that I know aren't going to feed into it and aren't going to give me a heap of sympathy. So now, in no way, I want to be clear, in no way is that a perfect method. And I'm sure that my therapist would probably shoot me if I told youth to do the same thing as what I do. But for now, and for me, it works. Because I understand the emotion that I'm going through. And by not quickly finding a temporary fix, and by going through it and understanding it and taking it to God, and then analysing it with my male mates that I know won't feed into me, so there's no point trying to get a fix off them, I then can find the solution. Because it's quick and easy to go to an earthly solution, but when I do that, the emotions can last for weeks. But I keep slapping a quick Band-Aid on it every time it pops up. But when you take time to process the emotion, understand why you're feeling it, dig around in that wound a little bit, start cleaning it out, often you can fix it completely rather than continuously masking it. You see, I'm currently doing a discipleship program with a group called Gen J, Generation Jesus, and it's called a COD, a Community of Disciplers. So I'm in a COD with Dev. We meet up every fortnight on a Tuesday, and we talk about our feelings, and we talk about God. Anyway, in that, we do a thing called reflective practice. Anyone heard of reflective practice before? Yeah? So I want to share it with you so that, maybe you can learn to process your own stuff. And when your friends come to you, you can then help them process their stuff rather than taking the burden on yourself. Because at the end of the day, Jesus is going to be the answer, not your own advice. Yeah? So it's got 4 components of it. It starts off with experience. So the experience is what is going on, what's happening, why, what's the events or the leading up that has made you feel like the way that you're feeling. So you kind of talk about that. And then you go into clarifying questions. Why is this happening? Why are you feeling like this? What may have brought this emotion on? And this is when, maybe your friends or other people that you trust around you can ask you some questions to help you kind of process it and engage it properly. And then we move on to the advice section. Yeah, so we've done experience, clarifying questions, and now we're on to advice. So what might God be saying to you in this situation? So this is when you actually have to stop and take it to God. Take 5 minutes and just pray to God and ask him to speak into the situation. Maybe ask, your parents to also pray to God and ask them to, I'm going to restart that. Ask them to pray and then ask them, why am I struggling right now? You know what I'm trying to, Dev, help me out here.
So you might like to ask your parents, your close friends, to pray about your situation and ask them after that whether there was something that came to mind from God that they want to share with you to help you get through this experience.
Thanks, Dev. Appreciate that. I'm loving. I said this last. I'm loving preaching with multiple people on stage. Just it's good. Anyway, and then so the final stage is feedback. So this is when you've processed the emotion, you've processed the feeling, you've talked about why it's happening, maybe what's going on. You've heard the advice from what God might be saying to you, and then you go into the section of what am I actually going to do about it? Now that you've talked about it, now that you've processed it, if you just leave it there, you're not really going to help yourself. You need to put in an action to what are you going to do about it? And so in that, that may be putting in an accountability program or, having checkups or, reading your Bible or going to God when this emotion comes. Anyway, so we're going to run over that again in the discussion end of this. But I just wanted to give that quick. So you got experience, clarifying questions, advice, and then feedback. Yeah.
Just one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
I enjoy this as well because I can chime
Yeah,
in.
okay.
With the clarifying questions, it's important that we know that when we're the friends that are asking these clarifying questions, it's important that we know that this isn't so we know more about the situation, we get more about the goss of what's happening. It's asking questions for the person going through the troubling times so they get to see a different side of their own story and get to understand it themselves more and help them process it. It's not about us getting to know more about our friends' problems. Just wanted to clear that.
That's good. Appreciate that. Anyway, so I just really want to hammer this point that I'm about to say. And hold on. It may sound harsh, but you are not enough individually to fix your own friends' issues. Yeah? Our own self will never be enough to fully help someone. And so if you put your value in that, you're going to be in strife. We should always direct our friends to love and direct them to Jesus. You see, I'm going to give you another example. I have a really good mate. And to be honest, he's going through the wars a bit with his injuries and stuff. He's been having to spend heaps of money on injections and surgeries. And for me, I'm an empathetic person. And so I feel his pain, and I feel like I know what he's going through. But you see, me immersing myself into his emotions and trying to comfort him in an earthly way, whilst I'm able to do nothing to actually physically help him, it's just going to put us both down the drain. The only real thing I can do for him and for myself, if I then put myself in his situation, is just to make him feel loved. Share the love of God with him and direct him to Jesus. Because there's nothing else I can actually do. And when you think about it, a lot of the time, that's the only thing we can do. But I can preach a mediocre sermon all day, but to be honest, it doesn't really mean anything if we don't take legitimate action and apply it into our own lives. If we don't take faith for ourselves by pressing in and taking accountability. Yeah? So John 4, verse 4 says this: "Little children, you are from God, and you have overcome them. For he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world." So you are from God, and God designed you, and God is within you. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world, he gave his one and only Son, so that whoever believes in him will not perish, but will have eternal life." God loves you. He loves you when you sin. He loves you when you don't love him back. And he loves you so much that he sent his Son to die for you. He sent his Son to die for the whole world, whether or not they choose to follow him. But the Bible is pretty clear that the only way to him is to believe in him. I'm just going to pray. Dear Lord, I just thank you so much that you're our God. It's that you have sent your helper, the Holy Spirit, to help us through life, Lord. Lord, I just ask that you'll be able to continue to help us in life, Lord. Lord, that you'll be our light to follow. That we're in moments of despair and darkness, that we'll lean on you, Lord. Lord, that we'll go to you. When our friends come to us, Lord, that we'll direct them to you. Help us to give us the courage, Lord. Lord, help us to give us the faith to take a step out, to risk being judged, to be able to send them love, Lord. Lord, to show them the love of a father. Thank you, Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So, I'm going to open this up to discussion again. Dev, what was your thoughts? Like, what's your, honest feedback? What's your thoughts? How do you kind of interpret that?
Well, for me, it's a very different sort of approach, I guess, to dealing with emotions, in that I have always grown up with the just stick it at the back of your mind, bottle those things up and sort of forget about them. So that was my way of dealing with things that were like emotionally troubling, I guess, and that is not a good thing to do. But yeah, I guess the way that you explained that you sort of took a step back and reevaluated how you deal with these things, that was really eye-opening, because there's so many, I guess, positives in the way that you've realised is a better way to deal with those emotions. Because one, it's not good to bottle them up and forget about them, and two, there's a way that you should go about it, and I think the way that Josh has discovered for himself, obviously it works for him, and I guess that's the most important thing, that that the strategy that you use works for you. It that God's at the center of that strategy, and that you still get to, I guess, deal with those things going on in your life. Because if you keep pushing them out the way, it eventually bottles up and becomes a massive problem, sort of thing.
Rochelle, how do you kind of, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I really loved it. Like, could very much relate. I think, yeah, I agree. Like, everyone's so different in how they respond to, if they're not doing well emotionally. And yeah, my reaction would generally be to withdraw from people, which is kind of counterintuitive, really, because I know, like, in wisdom is that, like, you need people, but it's just, what I would naturally do. So I really like the idea of, I guess, the reflection and kind of like making yourself think about, okay, this is what I'm feeling. What triggered this, and maybe like writing it down and getting a bit of groundwork for how you can maybe change your patterns and get healthier ways of handling hard emotions. So yeah, I really love the content.
Did any of you guys want to share something that you got from it, or like maybe an extra point that you feel like everyone should know, or maybe a different perspective? Yeah, it's okay if you don't. No. All right, cool. Well, 7:56. I think something that's an important note that we should finish on. It's just giving Rochelle the opportunity to drink the egg again, if that's something you want to do. Even if you just you can pour one embryo into a cup and drink it. Just one. Just an embryo.
You realise it's currently mixed in there with the egg yolk.
Yeah, the embryo, you can just...
I think we should stop calling it the embryo. The yolk. The yolk.
Oh, yeah. An embryo is like it's fertilised, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. When there's a little baby.
Have you had that? Have you ever been to the Philippines?
No, I've seen them.
You have like a fertilised chick before it hatches.
It's like a delicacy. Yeah.
And you can get them at different stages.
Filth. Absolute filth.
If you ever go to Philippines, maybe give it a go if you feel like it. I don't know.
It's cultural.
Yeah, it's a cultural experience. It's like eating guinea pigs in the Andes. It's a cultural experience.
A cooked guinea pig.
Have you had it?
No, but I could do that. Yeah.
I rate it.
Okay, actually, when I was a kid, I...
This is a good McGrath
This
story.
is a McGrath story. I'm here for it.
Next year.
Well, I raised guinea pigs. I absolutely adored them, and I had pet guinea pigs for a long time. And throughout my as a kid, I was from whatever my church background was, very end times focused. So literally planned for anyway, these horrible end times where you're going to be really persecuted for being Christians. That was just the headspace I was in. And so literally I proactively thought that my breeding of guinea pigs was a practical measure of preparation for the end times when they would be our food source. that was my rationale.
It's a good word.
Yeah. So very much prepared to eat them.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. If you're online, don't forget, if you are not here tonight, that next week we have youth in person. We're doing the op shop, Beauty and the Geek night. Come next week, bring your $20, grab yourself a beanie. It's good for you. Keep your head warm. But yeah,
Heading into summer, that's important.
it is important. Jobs.
Yeah, can I just grab this? We do just have one last thing to cover off before we do leave. Josh actually mentioned it is his birthday tomorrow, so if we can just look out, put your attention to the big screen. Joshy, we just wanted to say a massive happy birthday for you, and we've got the cake for you. So if we can all please sing happy birthday to Josh, that'd be great. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Yay!
Did you prepare this whilst we were streaming?
Yeah, you should have seen it. I was making it, and then you wrap it up. I'm like, it's not letting me upload. I was trying for 5 minutes to upload it, and then all of a sudden, Sam's like, try and drop and drag it, and it worked first shot. It was absolute pain, but yeah, I was.
I think I sort of caught on that something like this was happening because Josh was at a really sort of deep point in his preaching, and then I hear a little giggle up the back, and I'm just like,
I actually thought that too. Does it? What is it? Oh, GW. I see. I see it.
JW. Maybe you could put some egg on it.
They make cakes out of egg anyway. Hey,